Hi everybody, welcome to our new project. This is a large mini album using Echo Park, My Favorite Fall, I think it's called. And I'm looking to see if I have the package for it. And I don't, but I'm sure I showed it to you already in the walkthrough. So we're going to get started today with both making the pages and matting them. I've not picked out every single thing, but I've picked out a lot of things, so we can get started. You will have seen the walkthrough already, of course. I'm using artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations in linen, and this is a design team project for Country Craft Creations. I'm also using the craft cardstock. There's a cutting list for the project, and I will post the link for that down below. And I believe I have used about 20 sheets of cardstock. At last count, I was sure I was at 18, and that includes the 4 side pocket inserts. It does not include the pieces of craft that I'm using as mats, but it does include any that I used because I think I'm going to use craft for the side pocket inserts. So that would be 14 of the linen for the construction and another 4 for the side pocket inserts, but the album's not done, so it'll likely go up a little bit. In any case, let's go ahead and get started. You will have your cut list already that you can get from my website, but I'll give you whatever measurements we need. Now, the base pages, you're going to need 4. And this one is already made, but I'll show you in a minute how to make it. So you're going to need 4 pieces that are 9 by 7 and 4 that are 10 by 7. And this one's already constructed, so let me grab one that's not, and we will make that one. So there's that one. There's that one. I just don't want to lose the mats for that one. Okay. So take your 10-inch piece and score each end at 1/2 inch. And then I'm using tape just because it's faster for me to demonstrate with tape. I do think you'll probably get a more permanent adherence with wet glue like art glitter glue, which I like to use also. But as far as expedience in demonstrating to you, the tape works well. But it's personal taste. Use whatever you like. This happens to be 3/8 inch score tape. Okay, so just fold those both in like that. And then take the smaller piece, just peel back a little bit from this corner. Okay, and then you want to carefully line up this corner here, just the corner. Okay. And just make sure it's lined up all the way across. And just pull out that tape. Okay, just like that. All right, and then you want to repeat this on the top. It should be a little bit easier because you've got the bottom already lined up. I'm sorry, I'm picking it up because it's easier for me to see it. I know I have new glasses, but I still have trouble. Okay, so we're just going to line up this upper corner. And then make sure it's lined up all the way across. And pull out the tape. There you go. Okay, so just make 4 just like that. And those will be your base pages. Here is our base page. Now, page 1, which is this page, so you open the book, and here's page 1. I don't have anything for that yet. I'm kind of dithering about what I want to do there. So I'm going to turn it over, and we're going to do it this way. And I just noticed I have a little hair just sticking out there, and I could trim that, or I can leave it one way or the other. It doesn't really matter because it's going to be down in the spine, but it'll bother me, so I think I'm going to trim it. My cutter is not, or I don't know if it's cutter or if it's me, but I always seem to be just a hair off. So I just took the tiniest little sliver off. Okay. So then what we have is, this is going to be the base, but we also have this large flap. Okay, and that flap is going to open this way, and it has two pockets that are going to go on it, staggered. Okay, so the base piece is 6.5 by 9. Oh, I didn't tape that. Let me go ahead and do that. So this is our flap. What did I do with my little ruler? I just had it 2 seconds ago, but I don't still know what I did. I put it over there, I think. Okay, just pull that out. And I'm just trimming off the corner up to, but not past that score line. Sure you burnish your tape. Score tape doesn't need to be burnished. Okay. And burnish that fold really well. Okay. So then this is going to go right along this edge. Okay, like that. And I think I will go ahead and put that down and then add the pockets. So I just peeled a little bit of the tape away from the top. I'm just going to turn this, and I'll do just what we just did, and that is line this up. Top and bottom looks good. I just want to make sure it's not overhanging at all, because this is the spine. I'd rather have it a little bit in than a little bit out. Okay, that looks good. Now it's going to need a magnet, and I have a habit of forgetting magnets, so I'm just going to go ahead and put it down now. If you don't want to use a magnet, you could always use a tie. Okay. I'm just going to use the 1/2 inch tape to put the magnet down. And I haven't yet decided exactly what I'm going to put on the inside of this flap. Usually when I do this flap, I put a pocket on the inside as well, and I'll probably do the same here. Okay, there's that. So I've just in case you haven't seen me do magnets before, I've just attached the magnet to the inside of the flap, right about where I want it. Then I've put a piece of scrap paper, and then I just let the two magnets grab each other. And I'm putting a little bit of tape on the back of the magnets. Pull off the back, and then close it. And then I'm going to put some tape on the top. I like to use a wide tape here because it smooths the edge of the magnet a little bit. And I only use score tape for this because it's always handy. You could use Scotch tape or whatever. It's going to be covered underneath your mat anyway. But I just use the score tape because it's handy. I know it's kind of expensive, but I don't use that much on magnets. Okay. I'm just going to put that there for the moment. then we have got my mats here. So we have two magnets, two pockets, and they're going to be stacked one on top of the other. But we want to make sure we do a dry fit to see if any adjustments need to be made. That looks pretty good. I think we're good. All right. And I'm going to do the larger pocket, and I'm going to trim out. Oh, you know what? I should put the tape on before I trim. It's always easier to trim it after. And what did I do with that little roll? There it is. I'm putting the tape on the side that has the dent from the scoring because I like to fold towards the bump. And you can see this pocket is 7 by 6.5. Okay. Like that, okay. We're going to score along the 7-inch side and both 6.5-inch sides. And then we'll go ahead and trim out the corners. Just like that. And then the smaller pocket is 7 by 3.5, and you're going to do the same thing. Score the two short sides, one long side. And let's go ahead and tape and trim this. Okay, and I'm just going to burnish. Corner looks a little chunky. Let's see what that's all about. I'm just going to trim that a little bit. There we go. There. Okay, now you want the bottom of the pocket, this longer piece, to rest on top of the sides. It'll just make it easier to get things in and out of the pockets. So just lift that side up a little bit. I don't know why I'm trying to do this when I have a tool that will do it for me. There we go. Okay. That's good. And then you want to do the same on this pocket. This album, I really wanted something that would hold lots and lots of pictures and things because autumn, at least in North America, is a time that people seem to gather. There's always lots of events involving pictures, It's just a special time of year, especially with Thanksgiving, and just produces a lot of pictures. So I wanted to make an album that would hold a lot of those pictures for you. There we go. And I'm just gonna add a good burnish. Just gonna double check that for fit. And that looks good. All right, now let me grab, I just want something contrasting to make it easier to put this down. But before I do, I'm going to go ahead and attach this pocket to the top of this pocket, right at the bottom. Slide that, make sure you can see it. All right. Okay, that looks good. Okay, and I think before we put this down, we might as well go ahead and put the mats on. And trying to decide if I want to ink. I think I will. Maybe. I don't know. I kind of like the crisp look. No, I think I will. I'm going to use walnut stain and just do it lightly. Just especially on this mat where it's a light color going against the light base. I think it would look nice. Yeah, that's good. Let's see, when I do my glue, I'm going to use art glitter glue to hold down my mats. We have reached the point now where it's difficult to get. It's not shipping because it is cold, but I think I have enough stocked up for winter. I hope I do. I was going to get one more bottle, but it got cold earlier than expected and I wasn't able to get it. Which is another reason why I'm using my score tape for some construction, to just try and save on my glue. Oops. Well, it was kind of awkward putting that down. Make sure it looks pretty straight. And it does. And usually when I begin a project, I get a fresh baby wipe out. And I didn't, but I had one left from my last project, so I'll have to get some out. Right, that looks cute. And then I'm going to use this green here inside the pocket. That's good. Let's give that just a little bit of ink. Don't put too much glue down near the bottom. You don't want to glue your pocket shut. Okay. Go. Attach this to the front of our flap, ink. Just slide a little contrast piece under there to help line everything up. Oh, that's going to be cute. All right. Let's see. I'm just peeling away the back from that corner. Okay. Just that one. And skip this one. Okay, there we go. Looks good. And our last mat is going to be these pumpkins. And don't need that right now. Let's get rid of that. And ink. See, that looks a little low. Let me scooch it up a little bit. There we go. Looks good. Make sure everything is down well. That looks good. Okay, now I haven't decided on here, but I have picked something quite plain for here because it's such a good spot for either one large photo or a couple of 4x6s or some journaling and some smaller photos. So of course mat this however you like. Give you sizes. All your mats are kind of personal taste, and also you need to measure because yours may not be exactly the same size as mine depending on your cutting and scoring. So 6 7/8 by 8 7/8 is the larger mat, and I made my smaller one 6 1/2 by 8 1/2. Dithering. I'm going to go ahead and glue these together, and I'm not going to ink these. Oops, sorry. The solid color is from the Coordinating Solids pack for this collection, which I will also be using throughout. I have the 12 by 12, the regular 12 by 12 collection, the solids that match, and an ephemera pack for this collection to work with. And of course the sticker sheet that comes with the collection. So you know what we've got. Oops, I don't know why I put that so far over. Okay, there we go. And you don't need to double mat the way I am. I just think it looks nice. And again, you could, instead of doing one big top mat, you could do a 4 you know, like 4.5 by 6.5, and then a journaling spot down below, you know, whatever you think works best for your book. And then this is going to just go here, like that. Okay. Very good. Be careful when you're burnishing this down. You don't want to bruise the paper on that magnet. I know I warn you that every time, but it's important. Okay, there we go. Oh, it's a little bit crooked. Oh well, it's fine. All right, where's my pen? There it is. All right, so this is actually page 2. This would be page 1, which we are going to do something different later. And then, so this is page 2. And let me grab a couple of things, and we will move on to page 3. All right, so here we have page 3. Now remember, this is the one we just finished, page 2. Page 3 is going to be a bit of an echo of that. It's going to have that same base combination, but instead of having 2 pockets, it's going to have the same size flap, but with a smaller flap on top of it. Okay, so let me give you some sizes. The larger flap is 6.5 by 9. The smaller flap is 4.5 by 9. Go ahead and pull the base off. And I look like I'm running out of my 3/8 inch tape. I need to get some more. Base. What do I do with the smaller flap? Here it is. Okay. And we're going to trim the corners. This is a nice, easy page. I pretty much only do easy pages. I try with this channel to always do books that, while they may look complicated and interesting and have lots of things going on, none of the elements are usually that difficult. I try to make sure even a beginner can make any of my books. I think there's a lot of wonderful teachers out there with channels that do a lot more complicated things than I do. So I try to keep mine pretty basic. And I'm just going to fold that over. And I've picked out the mats for the outside of these flaps, but I haven't picked out mats for the inside. I'd like to go back and do that towards the end when I see what I have left. That way, if I'm running short of something, I can just use, you know, solid or something on the inside if I need to, or even if I just want to. Okay, so actually, no, let me pull that from the bottom. And I could mat these first, I guess. Let me go ahead and put this one down and we'll mat it, and then we'll do the other one. So we're just making sure everything's lined up nicely. And pull out that tape. And then this is also going to need a magnet, so I'm going to go ahead and do that before I forget about it. Doing this just the way we did the last one. Actually, you know what though? Hang on. I'm checking because, let me move these out of the way. Right, these two things in the book are going to be like this. Okay. And I do not want that to happen. I don't want these magnets to be constantly stuck together. So what I'm going to do is turn this one see how much problem that causes? I'm just going to turn that over so that it faces away and they're not attracting to each other like that. That's a tip. Whenever you're going to have two magnets right up against each other like that, you don't want them to stick together. Check ahead of time to see. Now I'm going to double check to make sure. Yeah, they're pushing away a little, which I'd rather have. Okay. And just looking for my scrap. Here it is. Alright, so that's the smaller flap. Here's our mats. There's the base. What do I do with the bigger flap? Oh, duh. I glued it down. It is very early in the morning. I think it is not even 6 a.m. Okay. And then I will use, I'm trying to decide, do I want to use a second magnet for this or do I want to tie it? I actually probably could leave this magnet off and just tie both of them. That might be pretty. Hang on. Where's that page? Yes, I think I'm going to do that. Hang on. All right, so we just went through all that fuss. Well, at least I got a chance to show you, you know, what you should do about those facing magnets. And you can see you can just sort of roll score tape off. I am going to use might get a little bit of damage there, but not too much. Here we go. Set those aside. I'm sure I'm going to need them. Ooh, I think that's pulling up some of the paper. There we go. That'll be all right. Okay, and I don't want this one near that one because they'll stick together. Over there. Okay. All right. Now, all right, so this is going to go here. This is going here. And let's see, this one is going here. And then we have this. Okay. And then I have these seam binding. Let's see, that's the brown. That's too bright. We'll use that somewhere else. I do like the burgundy. I think it, oh, it's kind of a rusty brown color. That's really pretty. Okay, let's use that. All right, and I need to put this down first because it needs to come up and around I should have put it under this flap, actually. I think I can still do it. All right, pull all these things out of the way. And let's cut. We need a piece big enough to come up around and tie in a bow. I'll cut it long. I can always trim anything I need to. Just eyeballing the center here. Okay, there's that. Now, I want to put that there. So I think what I can do, I don't need to take the whole thing up. Just going to get out my undo, which I also need more of. I'm just going to put some right there. That I could reach under there with. I have a little tool, but I don't see it. And I don't want to cut it. Hang on. Well, let's try this little ruler. Maybe that'll do it. There we go. That's a huge knot, but it got the job done. All right, and then I just want to take and insert a little piece of seam binding. So I don't know if you can see, but I'm just threading this in here. You won't have to do this because you will know that you should put this in first. I'll warn you. But go. All right. And let's go ahead and take that down. All right. So save yourself the trouble. Pay attention to my warning and put that down first. In order to get that covered up, I'm going to go ahead and do this inner mat first. So just like we just did it. goodness, I got way too much glue there. But the art glitter glue does dry clear, and the baby wipe does clean it up nicely. I use the CVS brand baby wipes. I never get any lint from them. They're inexpensive, and they're easy to get. And a lot of people like the Costco ones, but I don't have a Costco anywhere near me, and I've always been happy with the CVS ones, so that's what I use. And they are dry baby wipes, by the way. I take, well, make a mess of that. Dry baby wipes, take them out, you know, the day before you're going to need them. Just take out a bunch and let them dry, and then you'll be all set. And then just make sure that that piece of seam binding is nice and straight and not caught up under there. There we go. I'm going to cut that one down. Okay. There. Okay. And then this, let's cut this to size. Alright, now let's put the smaller flap down. And that's going to go here. Okay, get some of these things out of the way. Great. All right, now look at the pumpkins for here. Oops. I know, I was just wondering where she was. She hadn't made an appearance. Hello, Jolly. Okay, so I'm just going to go there. Oh, Jolly girl. I think you need to get down. Nobody can see. Nobody can see. I know. You're looking a little sleepy. It's very early even for you. Yeah. Come here. Come. Oh, my goodness, what a big girl you're becoming. There you go. Okay, now I think, yeah, these pumpkins are directional. So make sure you get them right side up. Let me get that. Okay, that looks good. Alright, and then we have this adorable piece with the little animals on it. Let's get that linked. Okay. And again, I'm not giving you measurements on most of these mats. Just measure your own space. Decide how much reveal you want. I'm going with about an 1/8 or 1/16. So just cut your mat either 1/4 of an inch or 1/8 of an inch smaller in each dimension. I went with 1/8 of an inch for this. And that will give you the size you need for your mat. Oh, that looks really cute. Okay, and then we're going to tie this. In a bow. Just like that. And let's see, the side's a little long. There we go. That's cute. Okay. So then these pages face each other like that. All right. All right. Now, let me check. Oh, I've already got my pen. What's the time? All right. Well, I think that I need to go and have some breakfast to get ready for work. And I will go to work. I'll come back. So in a few seconds, we'll continue on with this, but it will be a whole work day for me. So I'll be right back and we'll do that.